Learning music, and in this case particularly melodies, by ear is something that I think every guitarist wants to do, but is maybe scared or intimidated of. And I think a lot of the time people think that you need magical ears to do this, or you need to be a master musician and all of this stuff. But as someone who started working on this skill when I was 9 years old and didn't even know the notes on the fretboard, I can tell you that that's not true. So in today's video, I'm going to share you tips and the processes that I go through every day when I'm teaching lessons for students and transcribing things by ear. And I'm going to show you how you can implement them in your playing and your practice so that you can become more musical and start hearing melodies and learning them on the guitar today. So the first thing that you kind of want to do when you're listening to a melody is you just want to find one note. You want to find something to gravitate towards. Now, when you're looking for this note, and what we're going to use in this video, I would love to use a real song, a recording of a song, but unfortunately YouTube has very, very strict copyright policies, and I will not be able to do so. So what I did is I recorded a simple little loop, and I also improvised a little melody over it. So I'm actually transcribing what I just played, 5 minutes ago, and I don't know what it is. So we're going to go on this journey together. If you have a guitar or a piano or anything nearby, please feel free to follow along. But let's listen to this loop and see what we get. Okay. Okay, so here's our first challenge, is we want to find one note. So I'm hearing ba-da, ba-da. So let's see what we get. I'm hearing it's kind of around this range of the guitar. I think I just found the note. Sounds like it might be an E. Let's listen back to it and check. Okay, there we go. So my first notes are E and D. And again, all you're trying to do is just find one note. And once you have that one note, you can start building off of it. So I heard da, da. Now let's listen again. Okay, so I heard this, which is exactly what it was. And again, I've been working on my ears for the better part of the last 20 years. So it's not a problem if you could not deduce that instantly. But let's say, for example, I tried da, 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 and I hit that. That is not going to work with what I recorded. But let's say we go back. That's not the right note. And now what I would do is almost think about this in an animalistic sense. I think a lot of my students try to kind of over-intellectualize sometimes. And if you have crazy theory chops and great ears and you know what you're doing, intellectualizing this process isn't necessarily going to be a problem. But a lot of you, if you're watching this video, probably don't have bulletproof theory chops. So what I would do is just try to think, was that... I think that second note's lower, right? And you can just check this by singing it to yourself a lot of the time. So da 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 da. And then I find, okay, that note's C. Now let's keep going and see what Matt improvised afterwards. So now we get da 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 da. And there I just found it again by fluke. But there what I was using to inform myself is I heard this, and I'm thinking, what key has, E, D, and C in it? A good kind of ballpark might be to go to C major. And if you want, you can try to check out the chords that are happening. To me, that first chord sounds a lot like a C major. So that's a pretty big clue that I might be in the notes of C major. And then again, by the time I get to that new melody, so I'm thinking maybe I'm in the key of C major, and I hear this. Da, na, na, na. Da, 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 da. So da 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 da. That to me just sounds like a nice little scale run. But again, you can sing this idea to yourself. Da 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 da. And just see if you can fill in those notes with the scale. So I played C, D, E, F, E. So see if I'm right. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. See, now, okay, wait, I'm hearing that A might be too high. So what is the next note lower? It would be G in that scale. Da, 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 da. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That would be a nice little simple melody. Let's see if that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. Ah. Da 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 da. And again, I have been doing this for a really long time, so it's easier for me to fill in these gaps. But again, the process can be as simple as just going, okay, what's that one note? Then da 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 da. That sounds right. And you just go through and you reason it out. And now, going through this way, melodies tend to be relatively easy. Again, once you find one note, you're off to the races. You want to find the next note, then the next note. Then you can start thinking, what key might this be in? Or what does this sound like? Does it go all high, or is there a turn in it? You know, maybe it goes where there's that kind of, it changes directions, whatever it may be. But you just start by finding one thing that you can latch onto, and then you go to the next thing that you can latch onto, and you slowly over time build this skill. And now this is where my kind of biggest tip I could possibly give you is try to find 5 minutes a day to do this. And the thing about this 5 minutes a day that I think a lot of students miss is they try to make the process of transcribing way harder on themselves than it needs to be, because we want to set these goals where like, oh, I want to transcribe this whole song. And that while that's a great goal, just like, you know, in January everyone goes, this is my year, I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to get the six-pack, do whatever. You're going to have a much higher success rate or much higher chance of success going after that six-pack if you set manageable, reasonable goals rather than just going absolutely buck wild for the first 2 months of the first 2 weeks of the year, getting injured and then hurting yourself. So you really want to have just a manageable amount, a slow manageable amount, 5 minutes a day. Just figure out 10 seconds of melody and see if you get it. Then the next day you can come back to the same song and figure out another 10 seconds of melody. Whatever it is, because this process of learning music by ear is one of the best things that you can do to help yourself and aid yourself in your musicality. And it's just something that I think a lot of people think is this closed off world where they don't have the keys to the kingdom. They can't access it. And it's something that really is accessible to everybody. I do not have perfect pitch. None of this stuff necessarily came easy to me, but if you just access this kind of sense of curiosity and you work and build it in a slow, manageable, reasonable timeline, like 5 to 10 minutes a day, just learn a melody. It could be anything. It could be a simple pop song from the top 10 of Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you listen to. It could be a simple pop song that your fiance loves. I'm speaking from experience here. But whatever it may be, and just learn a little bit. You get better and better over time, and by having this kind of slow, repeatable every day, you just learn a little bit by ear. The next day you learn a little bit more. Over the course of a month or 2 months, you will start getting much, much more confident at this. And while your ears get better, you'll be able to find the note on the guitar significantly quicker. So anyways, I really hope you found this video useful and maybe a little inspiring. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It really helps me out more than you could know. If you want to take a guitar lesson with me, there's a link to get in touch with me down in the description. I'd love to work with you on whatever's troubling you on the guitar. If you're looking to support me in the free educational content that I put out here, you can consider subscribing to my Patreon, which is linked down below. All of my patrons get early access to my videos as well as cool behind-the-scenes sneak peeks. It's stuff that I don't post anywhere else, so I'd love to see you over there. If you're looking for a different way to support me and what I do, you can purchase either my ebook or my video courses, which are also linked down in the description there. It's a great way to get some more in-depth educational content from me than I can go into in a 10 to 15 minute YouTube video. And last but not least, I have new videos coming out every single week, so I hope I'll see you in the next one. And until I do, I'll wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you have some fun playing the guitar. Thanks.